Roma were at home. So my recollection would be that we never felt we were favourites. We thought it was going to be the toughest of all. I mean, you know, European Cup final, you expect to play on a neutral ground, don't you? You don't expect to play the people who play there every week or so every other week. So, no, I think we felt that we were certainly underdogs.
I think it was the wrong place to have played the game, simply because it was their home ground. To go there, obviously, there's probably a lot more pressure on them than what there was on us, because they were the home side and they did the majority of the support there, and their supporters turned up in their thousands again. But they're still in the minority. But it's, on the pitch, we weren't feeling inferior in any way, shape or form. And we just got on with it as best we possibly could.
I remember the week before we went to Israel. We always used to go to Israel end of the season, and we went and just played a game there and just had a bit of sort of R&R, as it were, a few beers, but we trained and stuff. And I remember the Monday before the final, we were playing a five-a-side at Melwood and everything, and Joe was the manager, wasn't he, Joe Fagan and stuff, and I remember him just turning to Ronnie Moran saying, "Crikey, you're going to have to hold these buggers back," which is exactly what he said. So I think that was tantamount to saying, they're ready, and it turned out we were. But it's a strange thing going to the European Cup final anyway, and it's like anything, we always used to get there too early for me. And I just remember turning up at the ground, probably 70% of the ground was full, and this was 2 hours before the match and stuff, and there was a kids' game on the pitch, and one thing or another. We got in the dressing room, Ronnie Ramon said, "He'll clear off on the pitch, get out of our way, we need to put the kit out." So we all sort of filed down the stairs, walked onto, well, the pitch surrounds, because there was a game on, and Graham Sinessa, as the captain, sort of went, "Let's walk all the way around and wind them up." And we sort of thought, "You sure about this?" He went, "Yeah, okay." So we walked all the way around, him like chucking stuff at us, booing and everything. And as we were walking off to go back to the dressing room, and bear in mind that the dressing rooms at Roma at the time, the Olympic Stadium, in the corner, and you had to sort of walk up some stairs to our dressing room, single file. And we were all massive Chris Rea fans. And I think Davey Hodgson, who'd been at Middlesbrough, Graham Siness, Craig Johnson, those kind of lads, and they all knew the words of the songs and stuff like that. And somebody just started singing. I don't know what it is, but I love it. That's all. We presume that was the title. It probably even wasn't, right? So fine. And so we're sort of, you imagine this scenario, we're all sort of going up the stairs towards the dressing room, and unbeknown to us, we pass the Roma dressing room, get into our dressing room, finish the song, really loud, sort of all bored. Naughty Schoolboys on tour.
I don't know why it came about. We were just waiting to go on the pitch, and I think they kept us waiting a little bit. And somebody started singing it, so everybody else joined in, and they must have wondered what was happening when they walked out. And
then Niels Lidholm, who was the manager, the Swedish manager of Roma, he just then said in the press conference after the match, he said, "I knew my team were beaten," he said, because he said Liverpool was singing before the match. And he said, "I'm in the dressing room giving my team talk to the players." He said, "You know, we're under pressure, we're at home, people expect us to win," that kind of stuff. And he said, "I just heard this singing." He said, it got louder and louder and louder. And he said, "My players," he said, "they went whiter and whiter and whiter." And he said, "I didn't say anything at the time. I just thought to myself, oh, we're in trouble." And he was right.
It was, I don't know how you ever describe it. As you say, you've got to have been there. And my command of English language isn't that great that I could describe somebody's feelings in winning a European trophy, especially at another team's ground. I don't think it did too much for the behaviour of the supporters, but it certainly did a great deal for their supporters and for their celebration.
It's a bit like an anaesthetic. The best thing, I have to tell you, the best thing about the whole thing was the party later on, because slowly then it sinks in. And I just remember we were sponsored by Crown Paints at the time, and they'd rented a villa over, you know, one of the 7 mountains of Rome, and it just looked like a gangster's villa. It probably wasn't, but it looks like they rented this gangster's villa. I remember the chief executive, the chairman of Crown Paints, standing up and saying, "Look, fantastic achievement, whatever you want to drink tonight is on us." And then he went, "Whatever you want to drink." Of course the boys are going, "Oh, Dom Perignon, happy days." And I would say it would be the best party I've ever been to. and one of the most serious hangovers I should say, I've ever had. But I'm pretty sure on the same night someone forgot to bring the cup with us. I'm pretty sure we were all going back on the bus and someone sort of said, "Where's the cup?" "Oh, we must go and get that."